Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Roy Monroe in here. I had a late night. I just kind of got up and having my morning cup of coffee here, and I thought I had kind of an issue last night, and I felt like I kind of needed to say something about it. Where has the male-female relationship gone? I mean, when I had one of my first girlfriends, we didn't really cheat on each other or anything like that. I know a lot of people now that, if they get in an argument, the first thing they do is go out and cheat. And that's really just kind of, it's awful, really. I mean, it's like intimacy has no value anymore. And that disturbs me a lot. Because that just points to societal decay. Speaking of societal decay, if any of you are into the Second Amendment, I'd recommend watching a video by Henson Ong. That's Henson Ong, O-N-G, and listen to his speech. It's definitely worth a listen for anybody who's an American and is at least semi-proud of being one. But anyway, my first girl and one of my first girls, I guess, and I didn't really do that kind of thing. I mean, we were essentially, a couple. Like if we I am getting a lot of sun. Doing manual labor up here for the moment. If we got into an argument and then we talked about it, or we went to our separate places for a while or whatever, we didn't go out, find somebody, sleep with them, and come home like nothing was the matter, nothing like that went down. You even have people like people swing a lot more now, and there are a lot more polyamorous relationships. I was pretty much in one of those recently, that's another video, though. I guess what I'm saying is it just disturbs me at the state that relationships, sex, intimacy have gone. A lot of people say, well, it's not all about the sex. Okay, but it's a lot about the sex. I mean, probably at least 50% of it's the sex. Maybe 60. But yes, it's not all about the sex, though. So I guess there's two schools of thought on it, and one of the schools of thought is, well, I'm going to get that 10 or 20% that person can't give me elsewhere, so I can enjoy the 80 or 90% they can give me. Which frankly is bullshit from my point of view. From my point of view, being in a relationship with somebody, being married, that all ties in with having to deal with difficult things with them too. And if you're not having enough sex, then that's something you need to discuss with your partner. You don't need to go and fix it by being with someone else. Now I know a lot of couples have all these, arrangements and everything like that, but it's just disturbing, kind of. I'm not sure, like, what to even think about it. I maybe shouldn't have done this video right when I got up. I have this friend who I was kind of trying to help get up here to the area, but all he thinks about is pussy. I mean, all he thinks about. I mean, the guy hasn't had a job in years. You know, I was at least employed officially as of last November, okay, but this guy hasn't had a job in years. I mean, he's this felon, right? I mean, he's got like a tattoo on his neck he needs to wreck off. And he'll go on for about 2 seconds, like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna like apply for this and that, and then it's like, and I'm gonna have me some girls, right? So like, the priorities in people's minds sometimes just are beyond me. But anyway, like, this guy's in his mid-30s now, and it's like, dude, when are you gonna like grow up and like start trying to put your wrecked life back together? You know, it's it's amazing that and women have been part of what's gotten him in a lot of this trouble. Um, I just don't see how you can take the most intimate act. I mean, ladies, you're letting some dude like put something in your body, and in turn, we're putting something like inside you. That takes a lot of trust, from my point of view. I don't trust condoms. I mean, I've used more than 100 condoms, I'm pretty sure, and statistically, some of those have failed. I don't trust them. You shouldn't trust your health to a little piece of rubber, And a lot of people say, and I can vibe with this to a certain extent, often masturbation feels better than sex. Because whenever I wind up with a woman, I tend to get this brushing my teeth with my left hand sort of feel, like she just doesn't know what she's doing, right? Well, it's not that she doesn't know what she's doing, she doesn't know what she needs to do for me. It takes a few times. And sometimes, you don't make it through a few times with somebody, it just doesn't work out or whatever. So you never get to being on a really good physical relationship. And that's another thing, patience, right? I mean, you can't, if, depending on the person's situation you're ending up with, you can't necessarily expect them to, snap to and have you figured out in 2 weeks or a month, and vice versa. You can't expect them to, be vibing with you completely in that time either. So, I guess there's another situation where you either have to give it time or, just try and work everything out. Now, working it out, I tend to think the point of a relationship is to work everything out. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but, and I know that's hard sometimes. People are different, even if you've been married for 5 or 10 years or whatever, not everyone is always on the same page at the same time, no matter how long they've been together or known each other or what have you. This same friend accuses me of being shy, and I'm not shy at all. I'm pretty good. Well, you don't even know how to talk to women when you first meet him. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think I have any problem with that either. I don't trust a lot of the women I meet because I've been hurt by a lot of women. So I tend to talk to them a certain way to feel them out. And if I start kind of being a dick to them, which I guess he's reading, it's because I've figured out they're skank, or, they're not very worthwhile as a person. And my definition of a skank is anybody who'll sleep with anybody in one night. Pretty much. Male or female. And a lot of people are still selling their bodies occasionally. Yeah, don't do that. I mean, come on. Have more respect for yourself. I mean, if you get up next to somebody and they offer you money for sex and you weren't expecting that, you talk about it. Don't take it, man. Come on. That's just I mean, don't do it. I may have farted just there. Happens. I just don't. I just don't. It just everything seems all messed up on a relationship standpoint. Now, I have another friend who's acquaintance who's a fairly intelligent man, and he was telling me the other night that things tend to come in trends in our country or in our world even, and I think he's right about that. So right now, kind of being loose and not being sexually exclusive, and just basically not having a relationship. I mean, people essentially live together and deal with the problems of the household, but they, go out and have sex with whoever they want. It's more like being roommates, really. This is kind of turned into the popular thing. Well, he's pretty sure that, in another few years, virginity is going to be the popular thing, purity is going to be the popular thing again. And that's kind of the time I remember, when people, I mean, and I don't think it's fair to, call people like me hopeless romantics either. I mean, I want to find somebody who likes me, not necessarily even for who I am. I'm willing to do some more changing for the right person. I've changed for a lot of people, but I don't always see an equal change, and that's difficult. And I don't. I do kind of like who I am. I think there's some things I need to change about myself, but if I'm gonna do a lot of changing for somebody, she's got to be rocking. She's got to be, and I'm not very picky about things either. I've dated all kinds of girls, all kinds of shapes, sizes, heights, whatever. And I'm fine with that. But I am not any longer into the whole random sex thing. I don't think that it's safe or worthwhile or fun, or it doesn't even feel good. I mean, physically, it just doesn't feel as good as if I, had time to, teach them how I, like to have sex. I don't know about the whole purity thing coming back, but it would be nice. And I think that there's something that needs to change. Now, if you have a kink thing, that's fine, all right? I don't think bringing a third or fourth person into your relationship is a good thing for it. But if you have some kind of kink thing, like, you like being, a slave or something, or, you like being dominant occasionally, then those things are all, stuff you can do within your relationship. Maybe. I mean, I think I was with one woman who, I was willing to be a little submissive to her needs. She was dominant. She liked being dominant, and, well, she was a switch. Be submissive sometimes, too, but she liked being dominant a lot, so I was willing to be submissive to her needs occasionally, and I explained that. And that, I'd like to talk about it before we were going to, spend a day doing that, or I'd like to talk about where we were going to do it or whatever, and it kind of got to where she was just doing it, and that was a problem for me. And thus was a problem for her, because she wasn't getting what she wanted out of that relationship. She wants a bottom, so she found one, and she's happy. And ultimately, I guess that's the way it works, I guess I'm going to have to cut it. Hope I didn't piss anybody off too bad. Have a good day, guys.